If you are starting to feel super, super comfortable in your business, everything feels like it's in a good spot, you've got it all figured out, you're all dialed in, everything is working perfectly. This episode's for you. If you aren't quite to any of those things, you're not feeling like you're in a great spot, still listen. There are going to be some important things for you to take so that you can avoid all of these pitfalls to seemingly these wonderful, wonderful topics. Today, we're going to discuss complacency. I'm your host, Bradley Martin, and this is Clearing the Way, a resource for small business owners. Hello, humans. I am your host, Bradley Martin, and this is Clearing the Way, a resource for small business. I talk with sales and HR experts, other small business owners, and anyone else that can provide you and me with information to clear the way to success. I had about 75% of an episode ready, covering operational efficiency, and then I got pulled away with this because there was something in that episode that reminded me of this topic and reminded me of a couple clients that were dealing with this. So then I couldn't get back focused on the on the efficiency stuff. So today we're going to talk about complacency. It should be a short one. We will come back to the operational efficiency, though. That'll be in like 2 weeks. More on that later. So generally, we all know complacency isn't typically thought of in a good way. There's plenty of examples of this kind of showing up. It can grab any type of business, from restaurants to manufacturers to service providers, anything in between, and anything. It can get anybody. When you're starting to experience some success for any extended period, it can be a little bit easy to kind of take your foot off the gas, if you will, or start to let a couple things slide. So, business is doing well, customers are happy, employees are happy, everything's awesome. But that's when it can be easy for things to slip a little. Your standards start to kind of waver. You're not as diligent. Your attention to detail, it just starts to slip. You start to take some shortcuts, or your employees start to take some shortcuts, and you're not paying as much attention to it. And then you get new employees, and they're getting taught the shortcuts instead of the regular ways to do things. Sometimes that kind of drive to survive, if you will, can kind of encourage you to pay attention to all of those things. But once that's gone, and once you start to get comfortable, it doesn't feel like you have to look at all those things as much. And that's, it's great. Comfortable is comfortable. It's kind of a nice spot to be. But problem with that is if we allow our team and ourselves to lose focus on some of those things, the business is going to start to feel some type of an impact. And at the beginning, it might not seem like a huge deal, and it probably isn't a huge deal. The first time you start to notice, like, oh, we're cutting some corners here, whatever. Not a huge deal, probably. But after a few months of this, or a few weeks of this, that will kind of depend on the type of business you're in. But after a little while, you start to get new employees. Again, they start to learn the new ways. Your quality starts kind of, it just isn't as good as what it used to be. People are going to start to notice. And the new customers might not. Like, if you're a restaurant, you've got the new people coming in. If you've got new, you produce a product and you've got new customers, they're not going to notice it as long as that quality is still good. But the regulars, your old customers, those people that have been buying from you for years, the ones that are always going out of their way to recommend you to to anybody that they know, or, they, as soon as they're starting to get low on whatever it is that you make, they order another one. Those, your biggest fans, if you will, they're going to start to notice it. When the quality isn't quite what it used to be, when the wait time is a bit longer than it used to be, and customer service isn't quite as good as what it used to be. And they're starting to notice that kind of downward trajectory. They're going to start to notice, like, they've been around for a while. And when you start to lose those fans, those customers, you're going to definitely start to notice an impact on the business. That you're going to start to notice it. And repairing that situation is way more difficult than just continuing to do things right. Anytime you've got to rebuild that trust or rebuild the culture within the company, or any of those things, either internally or externally, it's going to be not that easy. Like, it can't be done quickly. So let's just not have to do that. Let's just not have to rebuild. So what can we do to make sure that we don't fall into these traps? Okay, so you could encourage your employees to kind of be innovative, or encourage continuous improvement, or encourage staff to kind of look at their jobs and figure out how to do things a little bit more efficiently, or a little better, or a little cost saving, like things to just constantly keep them thinking of ways to improve their role. That will just keep them kind of on the ball. It'll keep everything moving forward. You could also try setting either some like internal competitions, whether that's sales based or whatever that looks like for your business, that keeps the business's goals in mind. Or you could set some stretch goals and have, again, it's like reward people for going above and beyond. So those things can help. If you've developed relationships, like good relationships with some of your long-term customers, those biggest fans, if you've developed some of those really good relationships, ask for feedback. Don't do it all the time. Like, definitely don't do that. But some of those ones that you've built a good trusting relationship with, maybe go to them and ask for some honest feedback every once in a while, and just see how your standards are stacking up to what they're expecting out of you. If your service has dropped off, or if the quality has dropped off, they should be able to notice that. Important to keep in mind here. Don't let your feelings get hurt. Remember, we're trying to make sure that our customers have a wonderful experience with our company. So ask for feedback and actually want feedback. If you can't, if you can't pull the feedback apart from the emotions, then maybe don't ask for that feedback. Maybe take some of the other steps, and maybe just try to examine things as objectively as possible. But maybe don't do that if you're gonna get a little hurt by the feedback if it's not good. So you could also encourage some either collaboration or some like cross training between your staff, people in a different role. Maybe they can, you come in on this day and these people are working together. Just a way to keep everyone engaged, keep everyone focused, and make everybody aware of the importance of all of the positions and in the role that everybody plays. It's, these, as the customer, I'm sure if you're listening, you've felt this at a place that you're a regular at. I'm sure you've seen those times where, it seems like there's high turnover or the quality just is going down, and it kind of sucks to be the customer of those places. When you've been loyal to them for years or whatever. Like, we've all experienced some version of this, from big corporations to small businesses, like everywhere in between. We've all felt that. So don't let that happen to your business. And that's not to say that you should constantly be striving to make your business bigger or increasing revenue. Like, it's not to say any of that. We've covered this in the past. Like, set your definition for success for your business and then strive for that. But if you've reached that point of success, complacency can pull you out of that. Letting your standards fall can pull you out of that success. Letting employees or setting a culture and a standard of cutting corners, that can pull you out of your version of success. And we don't want that, obviously. That's pretty clear. We don't want that. So yeah, that's it. A nice short episode for today. I will get back to the operational efficiency in, I think, 2 weeks. It should probably be 2 weeks. Next week is going to be an interview with Ryan Brown of River Point Realty. And then we'll be back for some efficiency stuff that I know everyone will be super, super stoked about. As always, if you need any assistance, email me, bradley@clearingthewaypodcast.com. I would be happy to help you in whatever way that I can. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend. And yeah, share it with a friend. Help me get the information to all of the new and aspiring business owners, or that business owner that you've been going to for a while, or that's a friend and they need a little kick, a little boost. Share it with them. Leave a review, leave a comment. That's super helpful. Thank you for listening. Have a marvelous week. Maybe the best one ever. Have the best week of your life. I will see you next time. Thanks. Thanks for listening, watching, wherever you're consuming this. I'm your host, Bradley Martin, and this is Clearing the Way, a resource for small business owners.